מי שברך, מי שברך אבותינו, מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברך, מי שברך אמותינו, מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
It was beautiful. That was accompanying Cantor Siegel. That was Rachel Kane, our new social justice intern, who can also sing. And so, Rachel, thank you for all the beautiful music throughout the High Holy Days. One of the features of this service of healing and hope is inviting a speaker, somebody to share her own story. And so I'm going to call up Debbie Leibowitz to tell her story. It is a story of great struggle over the past 2 years, and through it all, Debbie has confronted it with integrity and with honesty.
Oh, good. I forgot to. I've heard it said that grief is like standing on the beach with your back to the ocean and never knowing when the next wave will hit you. 3 years ago, my life seemed normal. I was a wife, mother, and columnist, active in the community. I had a sense of humor and believed in a higher power. Then one day, my husband of 25 years came home and told me he wanted a divorce. I was shocked and heartbroken. Yes, we had issues, but had also built a life together. A beautiful home, good friends, 2 smart, handsome sons. We were a family. He moved out. A long, painful, and expensive divorce ensued, ripping our family apart. Several months later, my divorce lawyer, of all people, fixed me up with his best friend, Richard Sharpstein. A criminal lawyer, Richard was also going through a difficult divorce following a long marriage. Richard was smart, funny, handsome, kind. We fell in love almost immediately, a miraculous gift considering the hurt and sadness we had each experienced. Shortly afterward, my ex-to-be was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer of the esophagus. Over the next year, despite turmoil, Richard and I enjoyed many wonderful times together and created beautiful memories. We spoke often of future plans and of growing old together. On December 10th, 2013, Richard died unexpectedly. I was shocked and heartbroken. He was 63. The police said it was suicide. After learning all the facts, I think it was an accident. I think strongly that it was an accident. But the love I had waited my whole life for was gone, and I never had the chance to say goodbye. I became paralyzed with grief and depression. And then, as part of the divorce, the home my family and I had lived in for 25 years was sold. I numbly packed up, got rid of most of my possessions, and moved into an apartment. The house was later knocked down. The divorce, loss of Richard, the house, my ex's illness, and my sons moving away to start their own lives seemed too much to bear. I stopped eating, reading, going out. I slept a lot and considered suicide often. But I have fought to keep my head above water. I sought help from friends, old and new, strangers, family, clergy members, doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, grief therapists, trauma counselors, yoga instructors, psychic mediums, a personal trainer, and a hypnotist, to name a few. I tried meditation and medication, attended Shabbat services, and played mahjong. The divorce lawyer and I set up a humanitarian fund here at the temple in Richard's memory to feed people in need. Feel free to donate. I went back to writing my column, which is Beach Buzz in the Miami Herald, and I wrote about my grief in an effort to help myself and others. The responses were overwhelmingly positive. I kept writing, began editing college essays, took on new clients, and slowly started becoming active in the community again. I continue to practice yoga, play tennis, and exercise. I joined a book club and a bereavement group. I bought new plants for my apartment and signed up to take a trip to India this fall. I try to stay busy and recite the Serenity Prayer often. You know it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Some days just getting up and out is enough. The process of healing is not a straight line, but rather a curved path that sometimes veers backwards. Somewhere along this journey, I decided that I was going to survive, that I would try to accept life on life's terms and make the best of it, that I need to overcome my fears of future loss and instability and to not get too upset with myself when I don't. I read recently that holes in your life are permanent. You have to grow around them, like tree roots around concrete. You mold yourself through the gaps. With time, the pain of overwhelming loss has become a bit more manageable. I have lots of people rooting for me to succeed. Those two smart, handsome sons, a daughter-in-law-to-be, parents, a brother, friends, and a sweet little dog who wants me to be there. They all want me to be there and be alive and there for them. I still miss Richard more than words can say, but have decided to try dating and to seek love again. So if you have any best friends I should meet, please let me know. Yes, my life has changed dramatically, but I continue to take baby steps forward one day at a time, to stand tall and steady so those giant waves of grief don't knock me over.
Thank you, Debbie, for your honesty and your courage in standing before us and sharing that story, that inspiration.
A prayer of gratitude. Let me do my work each day, and if the darkened hours of despair overcome me, may I not forget the strength that comforted me in the desolation of other times.
And I promised my early God to have courage amidst the tempests of the changing years.
Spare me from bitterness and from the sharp passions of unguarded emotions.
Lift my eyes from the earth and let me not forget the uses of the stars.
Forbid that I should judge others, lest I condemn myself. Let me not follow the clamor of the world, but walk calmly in my path.
And though age and infirmity overtake me, and I come not within sight of the cast of my dreams, teach me still to be thankful for life and for time's golden memories that are good and sweet. And may the evening's twilight find me gentle still.
A litany for healing. We pray for those who are now ill. Grant them the resources they need to find healing.
Source of life, we pray, heal them.
We pray for those who have suffered a loss. Grant them the ability to go on.
Source of comfort, we pray, give them hope.
We pray for those who care for others. Grant strength and compassion to families and friends who give their loving care and support to those in need.
Rock of life, sustain them.
Eternal our God, grant us insight that we may understand what has befallen us. Help us to find the wisdom to see our life in a new light. Shekhinah, the one who dwells within, guide us on our way. Those who sow.
Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears together, those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. It's the song of the dreamer. From a dark place it grows, like a flower in the desert, the oasis of our souls. Come back where we belong. You who hear our longing cries, our mouths, our lips are filled with song. You can see our tear-filled eyes. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
This transition will move us toward the Torah service for the afternoon of Yom Kippur. And in just a few moments, our confirmation class of 5776 will be bringing in our Holocaust scroll. The Holocaust scroll, as many of you know, has been placed in our possession in trust. We received it in 1988 on the 50th anniversary of Kristallnacht. We consecrated it by an all-night study of Torah in the document itself and in the Torah scroll that was whole. This scroll is not whole. It has scars from the days the Nazis ragged it and ripped it out of its synagogue and placed it in a dusty, musty warehouse. And so it bears the same scars that human beings do, that survivors of the Holocaust do. And it reminds us that we survived and Nazi Germany died, and that scroll continues to be read by our confirmands at the time of their consecration, and at this moment, at the beginning of the year, and when we read from the Holiness Code.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. The door of a door, the gate good never. The door of a door, we protect this chain. From generation to generation. The door of a door, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carried in our from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way. And the words that bring us peace, we will have the strength to say. Have the strength to say. From generation to generation, the door of a door, these lips will praise your name. The door of a door, we protect this chain. Generation to generation, the door of a door, these lips will praise your name. Praise your name.
This morning at our Unplugged service, I spoke about my participation in the NAACP's March for Justice, a 922-mile journey from Selma, Alabama to Washington, D.C. that took place this summer. I only did one day. The march was a call to justice for the rights of every American to a fair criminal justice system, unfettered access to the ballot box, and economic justice. And I'm proud to tell you that when the NAACP decided to march from Selma to DC, our Association of Reform Rabbis said, "Hineni, we will be with you." Every day of the journey, a rabbi showed up. In fact, they came to expect us. Which rabbi is coming tomorrow, they would ask. And every day of the journey, there were two visible symbols displayed: the American flag and the Torah, both symbols of justice and liberty. As I held that 20-pound Torah in my arms, I whispered the very words that are found in this afternoon's Torah reading. Al ta'amod al dam re'echa. You shall not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And here as well, we find instructions for caring for the stranger, because we were strangers in the land of Egypt. This afternoon's precious Torah reading, known as the Holiness Code, encapsulates God's best, highest expectations of us. For us here today, the significance of the words is underscored as we chant from our hallowed Torah scroll, rescued from the Jewish community of Prague in flames. We were the victims of injustice and hatred not too long ago. This year, as we hear these words, let us feel them anew, and let us resolve to not tolerate what is intolerable. We think about all of those people who are struggling to live in dignity, from people of color in our nation to the yearning refugees risking their lives at this very moment for freedom. The Torah reading beckons us to pursue holiness not just on the holy days, but every single day. And as you leave our sanctuary this afternoon or this evening, two things you can do to pursue justice and holiness in your life are fill out this postcard advocating for the Voter Rights Advancement Act and mail it in, and pick up a Social Justice Network brochure so that you can see how you can participate in bringing justice to
And now
our
I'm going to
community.
ask members of the confirmation class to come back up for this year, 5776, because they're going to be taking the Holocaust scroll back out of the sanctuary. And one of the people that we talk about often is a woman named Hannah Senesh, young woman who died in her early 20s, was a partisan, a fighter against the Nazis. She was a Palestinian Jew who was trained in Palestine, and while she was there, she wrote a number of poems. And one of her most famous poems we're going to turn to now because it's going to accompany the Torah as it leaves, and that is on page 540. It's called Eli, Eli. It's words that many of us know. It was written by Hannah Senesh. It was written during that period when she was still a young kibbutznik and a young member of the Zionist movement, before obviously she met her end at the hands of Nazis and traitors. And so as the Torah leaves the sanctuary, we'll hear her words sung, Eli, Eli.
Eli, Eli, shelo yigamer leolam, hachol ve'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, רישו של המים ברק השמיים תפילת האדם.
And as we begin this moment, this service is a brand new Yizkor service that was created in this Machzor. It's called the Seven Lights of Yizkor, and we'll be using our menorah, and members of our congregation will be coming forward and lighting each of these candles as we read some of the readings in here and sing some of the music. This is the visual symbol. We believe that this is a very moving service that they've created in our movement, and we want to experience it for the first time as a community. So I would just like to share one little piece with you as a way of entering this moment. In the book, The 7 Good Years, by Etgar Keret, one of my favorite authors, Etgar has a conversation with his son, and they've just had a moment that many of us have had in one way or another. They were playing around in the bathroom during bath time, and his son was splashing around and running around and doing stuff, and he slipped. And at that moment, his head was crashing toward the sink. And Etgar put his hand there, and his hand was smashed and cut, and he bandaged it up. And this is the report he writes about that moment. His son said, "Why did you protect me, Daddy?" And he said, "Because I love you. Because you're my son. Because a father always has to protect his son." "But why, Daddy? Why does a father have to protect his son?" "Look, the world we live in can sometimes be tough, and it's only fair that someone who's born into it should have at least one person who will be there to protect him. But what about you, Daddy? Who will protect you now that Grandpa's dead?" "I didn't cry in front of Lev," he said, "but later that night on a plane to Los Angeles, I did." Part of what it is to go through this process in different ways is to remember the loss and the pain that remains, but also the beauty of the memories that we carry with us. And it is a balance. It's a balance of both pain and beauty, of gratitude and sorrow. And so the light itself symbolizes that. It says in the book of Psalms that God's candle is the human soul. These lights, as they light up our sanctuary by individuals who've had losses, this menorah will represent all of those lights in our life that we remember at this time.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצם, רק אשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. יש אנשים As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. We remember. We remember.
Be'ato ahafkid ruchi ve'tishan ve'a'iran ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira
My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Adonai li velo ira ve'im ruchi
I shall not fear.
Adonai li velo
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושיבך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ושיבך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש אתה, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש.
The bima is open for anybody to visit the bima here as we conclude our services. Page 674 has the brachot as we prepare to sing through the Havdalah and do our final piece that takes us to the Tekiah Gedolah that will end this Yom Kippur Ne'ilah. Cantor, when you're ready, we're ready.
Yai lai la 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 la. Yai lai la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beri hagafen, borei beri hagafen. Yai lai la 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 la. Yai lai la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei minei vesamim, borei minei vesamim. Yai lai la 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 la. Yai lai la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beorei ha'esh, borei beorei ha'esh. Yai lai la 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 la. Yai lai la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, המבדיל בין קודש לחול, המבדיל בין קודש לחול.
Lai, lai.
Lai la 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 la. Yai lai la 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 la
Now we turn back to page 672, and you'll see laid out there the way we're going to sing us out with one Shema, with 3 Baruch Shems, with 7 Adonai Hu Ha-Elohim, and then with our final sounds of the shofar, and then we can wish each other a wonderful year. So, together, Shema. Cantor, are you ready? Yep. Oh, Danny's up here. Oh, okay. Now it's okay.
Can I sing Danny Boy?
Can we do? Let's go.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai, Hu ha-Elohim. 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 Adonai, Hu ha-Elohim.
Tekiah, Shavarim, Teruah, Tekiah Gedolah,